What's going on, guys? Romer the Roamer here. I just pulled up to my favorite bookstore, McKay's. If you're ever in the South, hit this shit up. As you can see, my car is empty. Got a brand new scale. I've already filled it up once today, and the purpose of this video is to show you guys how you can hire a scouter for relatively cheap and have books come to you. So my buddy's in here right now. I hired my friend, and he's been here for about 5 hours, so let's see what he got. Also, side note real quick, outside of a lot of bookstores, Second and Charles on the East Coast, McKay's here, half-price books all over the country, maybe Powell's up in the Northwest. They have free books outside, so it's a great opportunity. A lot of people just dump them here and don't even go inside to get the store credit. They just want to get rid of this shit. Also, the store in there, a lot of times they'll bring it back outside. This is a way of purging inventory, and they do a great job of it. Check this out. Right here. That's got to be worth something. I'm taking that. So, let's see what my buddy got. But this is the haul for today. These us too? Let's see if this is a profitable one. Just picked it up at the free bin and about to hit the road. Look. These are all from the free bins. One of these books is this one right here, $33 FBA. Found 2 of them. So I mean, there's opportunity like this everywhere. Here's another one. I bet this one's worth something. Look at that textbook, all over the place. So check this out. This is how much store credit we have at this local bookstore, McKay's. So what you can do is you can take your dud books, and they'll likely pay you for them. And this is where I take all my duds, and this isn't all of it. I mean, this is just what Fritz brought. He's over here hustling. So yeah, and this allows us to number one, you don't have to pay sales tax, or if whatever state you live in, you should get your resale permit anyway. That voids sales tax. 100% do that. But also with trade credit, there's no sales tax anyway. So yeah, it's just little things like that, you know, using gift cards where you get like 5%, or credit cards, 5% cash back. You're really able to squeeze all the profit out of everything, and then you're able to get books that your competition can't, you know, because we're getting, you know, this is basically, you know, free money here that we were otherwise going to trash the books or take them to a recycler. And something else you can do is take them to a recycler and get paid per pound if your recycling companies, you know, do that. But yeah, we're not paying cash for these, so we have the ability to purchase more books. So always be looking for ways. I think it's important for us to focus on scaling a business rather than working in our business. So at a certain point, you'll get everything down pat. You'll get your scouting down pat. You'll get your listing down pat. You'll get your repricing down pat. And let's say you come out and you're making $50, $60 an hour, okay? Once you have some extra money to put aside, invest that. You're not risking it. Put it in one of the processes, whether it's listing, scouting, repricing, whatever it is. If you don't have a repricer, if you're manually repricing, we could talk about that all day. But put it in one of these categories that's proven. It's a proven business method that makes money. You know it's going to work. You have a route. You have a route you run. You have a route you run to go get books. Every time you run that route, you get books. What difference does it make if someone else runs that route? You have a bookstore you go to. Every single time you go there, you pull inventory. It's not a huge risk to throw someone in there for $10, $15 an hour. If it takes them 2 hours to pull out books, let's say they're in the bookstore for 2 hours, they pull 20 books. Okay? 2 hours, 20 books. You just paid them $20. Okay? If you would have walked in that bookstore and automatically 20 profitable books would be handed to you, and they'd say, look, we'll give these books to you right now for $20, or we'll put them back on the shelves. You got to close your eyes. We'll put them back on the shelves. It's going to take you 2 hours to go and find all those books. Would you pay the 20? Or would you scan for 2 hours? because that's essentially what you're doing when you hire a scouter. So starting out, do the grunt work. Go out, find the routes, find a proven business model. Once you get that done, hire someone. Hire friends. I don't have a full-time guy yet. I'm rotating friends. And not all friends are created equal. Not all people are created equal. You'll find some people bring in twice as many books as others. This is important. I'm a baby. I'm at the very baby stages of building a business. I am by no means an expert. I'm just sharing my experiences and what my gut knows to be true. And this is what my gut knows to be true. Hire someone immediately when you have the opportunity to. When you have a little bit extra money, if anything, it's a learning experience. That's why I go back and watch my virtual assistant video. I think it's essential to get used to delegating tasks. Someone commented on one of my YouTube videos, yeah, Avery, but I'm not at the point where I can hire a virtual assistant. I want to follow you for 48 hours and see what you spend your money on. If you spend your money on a water bottle, water's free. You can drink out of your water faucet, okay? If you spend money on fast food, if you don't buy groceries, what else stupid to spend money on? Any soda, anything like that, you could take those dollars and you could invest them in a virtual assistant to do tasks that you're doing every single day. Anything you're doing on your computer that you could train a 15-year-old kid to do, shit, even they're smart over there in the Philippines. They're doing some shit I don't even know how to do half the damn time. Okay? There's software developers over there. Anyway, it's not like you're hiring nobody. You're hiring very smart people for very cheap because our dollar goes very far over there. So it's a win-win. You pay them good money, but you pay them very little. You're not investing much. Okay? So for $3 an hour, you could practice, take $6, okay? You get 2 hours worth of a virtual assistant's time. Okay? You get 2 hours worth of their time. You just have them do something. Have them do anything. Just get used to having someone else do something, even if it's something stupid. If you can't think of anything to have them do, there's a million things I can think of them to do in an Amazon business. Fix stranded inventory, reprice, email sources, potential sources, have them email places, have them email people, have them go on Facebook Marketplace, find people to get their textbooks. There's 1,000 things for them to do. Even if it's just pay a traffic ticket, even if it's just email your mom, I love you. Have them do something. And the whole point of this is to strengthen your muscle. Strengthen your muscle of delegation. Because if you don't do that, you are forever going to be a hustler. Not in a good way. You're forever going to be hustling. And you're never going to have a business that works for you. That's it, guys. Peace out, Roamer the Roamer. Subscribe, like, comment, unsubscribe. Do what you got to do. See you next time.